What do you get with the luxury house Xerjoff? One of the best fragrance houses of all time does a collaboration with one of the best guitar players in metal of all time. You get this, you get IOMMI Monkey Special. Now, if you don't know who Tony IOMMI is, I don't know, you must be under a rock or you don't listen to any type of metal or rock music. He is the riff master. Let's be honest here. He was one of the best guitar players of all time, and he was in the band Black Sabbath. You might know Ozzy Osbourne as the lead singer. I'm sure everybody knows who that guy is, but Tony IOMMI is what we're talking about. He's the guitar player. He's absolutely phenomenal. And this is his signature fragrance, IOMMI Monkey Special, and it was in collaboration with Xerjoff. Can I say that again? With Xerjoff, who's known for making absolute banger fragrances, wonderful gourmands. It's one of my favorite fragrance houses in the world. Now, being a riff master myself, not gonna brag, but being a riff master, I'm a huge fan of Black Sabbath and metal music and Tony IOMMI and stoner rock, so I was super hyped up when I heard about this fragrance and I knew that it was coming out a few years ago. It was released in 2021, and I've had it since then, and this review's been way overdue, but I wanted to make this special review. I had to make this review absolutely perfect and give this fragrance a few years of wearing before I could translate that to you. Does this fragrance embody metal music and Black Sabbath and Tony IOMMI and the whole vibe? Check out this bottle. It's absolutely stunning. Look at that. It's like a silver, reflective, and black. Very different than most Xerjoff bottles. It's really its own thing. And there's also a limited edition bottle that has diamonds and crystals all over it. It says IOMMI. I think the bottle's metal. It looks like a sharp guitar. Really badass. Let's give it a spray. Here we go. We're gonna do 3 on the arm. Great atomizer. Oh yeah, right off. Woo-wee. Right up top, you get hit with this very sharp, sour passion fruit note. It's very distinct, and I don't smell it in a lot of fragrances, but in this, it's right up and it hits you right in the face. And it's comboed by this very boozy rum notes. You get passion fruit, you get very nice rum, and there's like a soft, spicy cinnamon note that's absolutely phenomenal. The opening of this is just, I don't know, it's amazing. The notes of IOMMI Monkey Special are rum, passion fruit, bergamot, geranium, Singapore, patchouli, cinnamon, leather, bergamot, rose, caramel, vanilla, tonka bean, left, Adam sandalwood, muscat, ambergris. I gotta do another one right here. We'll do the neck chest. Let's just smell that. Let's just embody what that smells like. Passion fruit, sour fruity rum, soft cinnamon. It's a sweet fragrance. It's really good. The opening almost reminds me of I don't know, when you first bite into a Fig Newton. Not the fig, but just that kind of chewy sweetness. It's right there. A little bit soft and spicy with the booziness. I love it. When this starts to dry down, during the mid, patchouli comes out. And were we surprised with that? Let's talk about it. The band came out in the early 70s, maybe late 60s, early 70s. Patchouli just reigned over. It was king back then, so I'm not surprised that it's featured in this fragrance, but it's not overpowering. There's also a really good vanilla caramel note. Caramel? I'm gonna say caramel. There's a caramel patchouli vibe, and you get very light rose. There's a little bit of rose florals in here, not too strong, but it's really good, and there's a little bit of musk in here. If you don't like musk, it's not enough to put you off, but it's just well balanced and very well masterfully blended. Honestly, when you smell this fragrance, there's really not one note that just stands out and overpowers. The patchouli doesn't overpower as it can in some fragrances. I've smelled rose where it's just too dominant, overpowers. That doesn't either. This is just very well blended. It's very well rounded. And as it really starts to dry down, the far dry down, you get hit with this very nice, soft black leather smell that's just really good. So up top, you get the juicy, sour passion fruit with the cinnamon and the rum, and then you get the patchouli that comes in with the caramel, and then in the dry down, you get the black leather with the cinnamon vibe. Oh my, and you know what? There's a little tickle of sandalwood in here. It's in there, and it's just really nice. I would consider this is like a gourmand fragrance, but not ultra gourmand. But there's definitely some edible qualities here with the rum and the caramel. It's very nice. Then when the leather kind of just hits you in the gut at the end, you just kind of feel the vibe. You get that nostalgic feeling of the early 70s metal. At least I do. I think this is one of the best well-blended fragrances I've ever smelled. Definitely top in the class by Xerjoff. I think the only thing that could rival this is maybe Naxos, but if you're familiar with Naxos, the great honey tobacco fragrance, this is definitely up there. This is to that level, if not better, as far as quality and the masterfully blended techniques that it took to make this. It's very sweet, it's very deep, it's very dark and a little bit murky, but you know what, those top notes are bright and it just balances it so well. It's like very harmonious and it just kind of swirls around you. It just works. It's very nice. So Xerjoff is one of my favorite fragrance houses of all time. I mean, if you didn't know that, well, now you do. And honestly, for their fragrances, I would say this is in my top 2 or 3 fragrances by them of all time. Let's do a sick over top metal spray. Let's do it here. Being a Xerjoff fragrance, you know, a luxury fragrance brand, the price of this is on the higher side. I mean, this is the 50 ml. And I mean, you know, honestly, I've seen it all over the place, but generally you're looking at about $270-ish. I've seen this cheaper on discounters. I've seen it for like $180. I've seen it for $200. I've seen it way higher for like $370. I think it really depends on if it's in stock or not, or when it first came out, it was a little bit more hyped up than now, or you have the special edition bottle, which I don't have and I wish I did, that's covered in metal crystals. It's super sweet. But generally, you're just picture around $250 for this, roughly. But for that price comes, I mean, absolutely fantastic performance. I mean, the longevity and the projection of this is phenomenal. I mean, the longevity is easily 12 plus hours. If you wear it on clothes, I mean, the next day you're gonna smell it on your shirt. The next month you're gonna smell it on a coat. It's just there. It lingers. It's nice. That sugary patchouli caramel vibe just comes through all the time. It never lets me down. And the projection of this, I mean, it's just strong. It's not quite master top level beast mode. It's right under that. It's like low beast mode. I mean, you're gonna fill a room, but it dries down nicely, but you're gonna smell it on you all day. You'll smell it around you. And I think within arm distance, you know, they'll smell it after 10 hours, which is pretty solid to me. You may not have known this, but back in the day, oh, I hung out with Tony Iommi. We toured, brother. Let me show you a little riff. So this is labeled as a unisex fragrance, and you know, it just leans a little bit more masculine to me. I think it is unisex, anyone could wear it, but it's definitely a darker masculine fragrance that would thrive at night. You know what though, I wear it all year. I wear this during the day, I wear it at night. It's almost like a signature scent for me. I just feel like it's that good. Though it probably does thrive a little bit better in the cooler months. I could see that because of the nice patchouli kick this has and the warm, dark rum. But I mean, it smells so good, it's year round. It is definitely very niche though. So I mean, this is nothing, if you're used to designer fragrances, this is nothing like you've ever smelled on that market. So it could be a little challenging. You might say it's mature. It's not though. But I mean, it's definitely a beast and it's for fragrance connoisseurs for sure. I can picture the vibe though. You know what this smells like to me? It smells like after a Black Sabbath concert, you know, you have backstage passes, so you go backstage and Ozzy's laying on a table and you're doing jello shots out of his belly button. That's what this smells like. No, I'm just joking. I'm not down with that, but I am down with this. This is a masterpiece. The vibe I get from this is just very nostalgic to me. I mean, it's like, you know, you're 19 or 20 years old, you're in a deep, dark, damp basement. You got a mustard couch, you're sitting on there in the dark, there's incense lit, picture of vanilla incense lit, and you got your turntable there, your record player, and you're just playing Black Sabbath, and you're just chilling, you know? Maybe you're high out of your mind, I don't know. This almost smells like the song Sweetly. You know, it almost smells like the beginning of War Pigs, like that intro. That's what this smells like. I mean, the thumping rhythms of Black Sabbath and Tony Iommi's guitar playing, I feel like just comes through perfectly in this fragrance. But then, you know what, like his artistry, it has those bright top notes that balances this from being too dark, being too extreme, being too niche. Everybody should be able to enjoy this. Like, I feel like back in the day, everybody enjoyed Black Sabbath once they got rolling. And honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Xerjoff fragrances, that every fragrance they do almost tells a story. And this one definitely tells a story. When you take this cap off and you smell this and you give it 7 sprays on your arm and you go like that, oh, hold on. And you go like that and you get hit with that rum note and that passion fruit and that patchouli and caramel comes through, you can smell the down-tuned guitars of Black Sabbath. You can smell Tony Iommi rocking out. It just has that vibe. It's so good. All of that translates this into one of the best masterfully blended fragrances of all time, in my opinion. I think this is honestly one of the greatest releases of the decade, of these 2020s, of this decade so far. This has to be the top. Now, it's not super mainstream. It's not gonna be like a Baccarat Rouge 540 kind of thing or like the Creed Aventus. It's gonna be underground, as Black Sabbath started underground. And if you're a true fragrance connoisseur and you like niche fragrances and you're a collector, then you have to check out Xerjoff's IOMMI Monkey Special. Wow, I don't even know. How do you end a video like this? How do you end something that's so badass and masterful? I don't know, but we're gonna do it. You know, let's do it with another chest spray. There we go. Holy.